Hello, and welcome to People by People, the podcast that is centered around creative thoughts and actions and what you can do to optimize that. My name is Andrew Bastian, a musician, recording and mixing engineer, and producer. In the first mini-series, I'll be discussing what science, philosophy, and greater culture has discovered, and hopefully give you the tools to do your best work and find meaning in it. Episode 2. Are you all that you could be? You set out a path towards a goal because that provides you with positive emotion. You land on something that's valuable and you decide that you're going to do that instead of other things. This incurs a sacrifice because you're sacrificing everything else to pursue that. You experience a fair amount of positive emotion and meaning as you watch yourself move towards the goal. The better the goal, the more full and rich your experience is going to be when you pursue it. This is one of the reasons for developing an aspiration, because you want to aim at the highest goal that you can manage. As you move towards this goal, there are things that you have to accomplish that will frighten you. It's going to stretch you to your limits if you pursue this goal. Some people have a conception of ultimate accomplishment that is inspired by what they lack. Life will be simple and devoid of duty and effort at some point in the near or distant future. The conventional belief that they would be inactive, distant from their current upheaval and living someplace else is what motivates them. This could be the weekend, retirement, or the summer holiday. People don't take the things that they have in front of them seriously enough. When something is in front of us, we frequently undervalue it. The reality is that our daily activities make up our lives. It involves how you behave with your co-workers, employer, friends, spouse, and children. It's the daily activities that you engage in. There's a lyric in John Lennon's song Beautiful Boy that has always resonated with me. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. This demonstrates how we frequently think about life in terms of plans, but seldom in terms of the present. Though we have limited control over the future, what we do today can influence the future, and in some ways, for the better. Life starts on day 0, not on the day we decide it has started or will start. It's better to join the race and try to catch up than to give up, because there are people already ahead of us. Life is hard, and some people are better at some things than you are. This will always be the case and is true of every human being. But the race isn't against the people that started 5 years ago. It's against you, yesterday. Lifting a worthy weight is what keeps us going in life. We have evolved to be helpful to those around us since we are social creatures. And if you don't expose what you need to reveal within yourself, the world is a darker place. Interestingly though, it is said that when we look into the darkest parts of ourselves is where we find the light. Embracing struggle as a path to meaning can give clarity on what our deep-rooted ambitions really are. Let's take a look at the Stoic school of thought. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic Roman emperor, held the view that everyone had a reason for existing. He was able to write a number of pieces known as the Meditations when he was emperor. These provide instructions on how to live a noble and purposeful life.
At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, what do I have to complain of? If I am going to do what I was born for, the things that I was brought into this world to do, or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm?
Each of us has unique abilities, characteristics, and traits that are useful to us and reflect who we are. Finding out about these traits and how we might impart them to others is our obligation. When we use these traits to assist others, others will assist us.
Men exist for the sake of one another.
As long as you assist enough people in your community in achieving their goals, your ambitions may be realized. Consider asking yourself, what am I capable of doing? What am I competent at? And what will offer value to others? It's unlikely, however, that you will be able to offer the value required for success if you don't enjoy what you do.
You must build up your life action by action and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible, and no one can keep you from this.
The essential action mindset and the idea of discipline maintains one in a routine and advances them towards their goals. You become a disciplined and powerful person as a result of your perseverance.
You have the power over your mind, not outside events.
Fear and anxiety weaken us and keep us from doing as we were intended to. You see what you're looking at. This is true for issues, anxieties, and negative thoughts, but it also holds true for positive ones. Concentrate on the aspects of your life that you have control over, such as the nutrition you provide for your body, how well you work, how far you have come, your frame of mind, and your propensity to engage in destructive activities. The best you can do, and all you have the power to do, is to get the things under your control right. So how much power do we really have? We all have inherent power. Your influence, power, and development will expand exponentially over time if you are aware of who you are, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and how your emotions dictate your life. You should also be conscious of your weaknesses. It is true that as we age, we tend to resemble other individuals more. We frequently consider what other people think of us and base our professional and personal decisions on their opinions. While it's not always wrong to follow others' routes, we should utilize them as a guide to help us decide what we want and how to get there. The greatest way to market our particular abilities and genuinely represent who we are is to highlight these distinctions. It is also true of our destructive powers. By knowing the ways in which we are destructive, we can utilize those traits to serve us instead of harming us and others. Aggression can be channeled into passion for a worthy endeavor, and social anxiety can be channeled into deep introspection. These moments of negative emotion exude high amounts of powerful energy. So do you want to be better? Or do you want to be worse? It's a better idea to be in favor of the part of yourself that wants to improve things. No unconditional admiration. There will be aspects of you that are going to be working against it, and those elements need to be evaluated and eliminated. This is not to imply that we see this with disdain or dismissal, but rather with the understanding that certain aspects of your personality are not helpful. So how do errors play a part in this? Our nervous system gives us signs that something is wrong through various biological methods when it makes mistakes that are out of sync with what we want to achieve. As a result, specific neurochemicals are used to inform the neural circuits that a change is necessary. You may train your nervous system to function more effectively by continually making mistakes. Errors are the signal that cause plasticity to develop. The majority of people go into things with the beginner's mindset, which means they go into things intending to make mistakes. However, individuals become discouraged, which drives them insane. They are unaware that the faults themselves are the nervous system's way of alerting them that something is wrong. When we begin to approach the appropriate conduct step by step, the brain recognizes the neurochemicals that are released, such as adrenaline for alertness, acetylcholine for attention, and dopamine for reward. To promote change, the nervous system begins to release neurotransmitters and neuromodulators. Errors thus serve as the foundation for plasticity and learning. Few people enjoy the sense of failure and mistakes, but those who do excel in their endeavors. The opposite is also true. People who struggle to overcome failure typically don't succeed. These mistake signals triggers the release of neurochemicals. You set yourself up for plasticity mechanisms to engage if you use your dissatisfaction as motivation to go forward with the effort. If you take your frustration and walk away, your plasticity may be rewired in response to what happens after you leave, which is often the experience of being unhappy. So where should we aim? The first thing to address is the question, how am I inadequate and what can I do to change that? Each of us is not nearly close to our potential at almost every point in our lives. This doesn't mean that we aren't good enough or couldn't be better. It simply means that there's more work to be done in order to get the best out of ourselves and the people around us. If we have a goal and understand what realistic steps we can manage and execute these, we continually move toward the goal, whatever that may be. In a practical sense, we should aim for incremental steps every day that make the burden feasible and the monumental goal realistic. Set a realistic objective for yourself. Results will be minimal at first, but it will be far better than breeding resentment. You'll observe that your success increases in speed as you get going. We must also bear in mind that when we fail, we also fail more quickly. Your progress today will place you on a path to success that accelerates more quickly than you can imagine. When experiencing high levels of dopamine as a result of your accomplishment, our happy experiences make us happier, and negative emotion affects us less. So what does all this mean? The fact that your conscience directs you as to who you should be is a strong indication that we live in a world of values. People are tortured by their conscience when veering from the course that is meant for them. Your conscience alerts you when you stray, and if you don't know who you could be. So what should we do? Spend time with people who are more intelligent than you, more skilled than you. Choose your friends and colleagues who behave better than you do, or more what you'd like to be, and you'll veer that way. We tend to be a product of our environments, and our realities are shaped by what we're exposed to. So be diligent in this, and create the foundations of something meaningful that the future you will thrive and succeed in. Listen to your conscience. Take control over the things you can control, and think less of those you can't. Wherever you least want to search is where you'll find what you're looking for most. Start walking towards the goal, and within 2 years you'll be running a lot faster than you ever thought you could. You're listening to People by People. Catch you next time.